shit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life?
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Meyer. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Meyer. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing. But they watch the film as well, so they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
First carry now for Alex Collins. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Back to throw. Knight. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Darren Lee coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's a foot race. The 40, 30, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Meyer. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. Meyer. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
The drive will start with an option going left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque.
Yeah, you just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's Davis. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the Jets set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. The play fake. Meyer. And he's got Bennett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. To throw on 2nd down. Meyer. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Zadarius Smith. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Operating from the gun, Meyer. Looking deep for Bennett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Collins on the handoff. Got some real estate inside the 30. And a cutback. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Alex Collins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. The pitch to Crowell. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to throw. Meyer. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll go option to the short side. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Meyer. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Meyer. Throw left side is taken in by Stewart. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's taken on the 25. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. A first update now from Cincinnati. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st and 10, Knight. Over the middle, that's caught by Scott. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Throwing on 1st down. Knight drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Down. Turner, he'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, Davis. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it with Davis. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Ohio! Ohio! Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
To throw on second down. Meyer, he's going to fire. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Meyer. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Meyer, rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Ohio! Ohio!
Looking to throw. Meyer. And a pressure gets to him again. Tyus Bowser. He's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He'll return it from the 6. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now after the loss, they come up 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. They'll go option to the short side. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Knight eluding the pressure right. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So out now come the Jets. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Meyer. That's caught right side by Anderson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The Jets on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Meyer. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Telvin Smith in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing just outside his own goal line. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. And he'll be out right at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. We got three, fellas.
On 2nd down, Collins found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll try the option right here on 3rd down. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's taken in at the 9. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Right back to him on 1st down. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the counter, it's Corral. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Meyer. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. Try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st and 10, Meyer. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Meyer. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Off play action. Meyer. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. I got 29.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. Ohio!
To throw again. Meyer. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 14. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 30. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jets. They are down big. They have not scored a single point I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
There's pride on the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Back to throw. Meyer, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.